This day in Philly sports history is proud to be a part of the Clashing Conferences Sports Fan Network, where passionate fans make powerful content. Check out theclashingconferences.com and join the squad today. What's up, everyone? Welcome to This Day in Philly Sports History for August 4th, 2026. I'm your host, Jim Montgomery. Welcome to a Tuesday edition of the podcast. It is Tuesday. Time for a little motivation / positivity brought to you by the Clashing Conference Sports Fan Network. As you heard, we are proud members here at This Day in Philly Sports History of the Clashing Conferences Sports Fan Network. Go to clashingconferences.com for details on how you can join today. I heard this one last week at a training for work, and I wanted to share it because I think there's just so many different levels to it. Obviously, in the context I heard it, it was more for education, believing in students and kind of delivering that message. But this is not only something you could give to your kids as a message, but also as adults, something that we could take away too. And it's the pencil's tale. It's based on an old fable. But the story is, imagine that or just imagine a wooden pencil in general, just a plain pencil. We've all seen them, brand new out of a box. Pretty ordinary. But before the pencil maker put the pencil into its box, he gave him 5 rules for life. Number 1, you will do great things, but only if you allow yourself to be held in someone's hand. Number 2, you will feel a painful sharpening from time to time, but you need it to become better. Number 3, you will make mistakes, but you have been given the ability to erase and fix them. Number 4, the most important part of you will always be what's on the inside. And number 5, no matter what surface you walk on, you must leave your mark. And again, I think it's very simple. It's a good message for kids, but I do think it's a message that we can all take with us. Allow yourself to be guided. So many times, especially for us men, we don't ask for help. We don't allow people to help us along the journey. That could mean whatever that means for you. It could be a spiritual thing, whatever religion you're in, just something, a friend, a family member, but just allow yourself to be guided. You don't have to figure everything out on your own. The second one, obviously with the hardships, we all go through stuff. We're all going through stuff. You got to come out of it the other side. So it might be painful at the time, but know that it's happening for a reason and you will become better because of it. And mistakes, we talk about it all the time. They're going to happen. You learn from them and then you get better because of them. So you might have messed up here. That's fine. What is the lesson that you're able to take away from that? And what's inside, just be a good person. Your value is within you. And I think if you do good things, you're a good person, good things happen to you. And I think you need to set those habits and make those habits your reality. And the more you do them, the more it just becomes a part of who you are. And most importantly, I think leave your mark. Too often we go through and you hear people say, oh, I wish I'd have done this. I wish I'd have done that. Go out and do it. Leave your mark. Take the risk. Take the chance. If it doesn't work out, at least you can say, hey, I tried it. And who knows, maybe you can learn something from it and become better. So as you go through your weeks, remember the pencil's tale, that the pencil maker gave that pencil some good advice. You do great things if you allow someone to guide you. Be in someone else's hand. You'll feel painful sharpening from time to time, but you need it to become better. You will make mistakes, but you've been given the ability to erase and fix them. The most important part will always be what's on the inside. And no matter what surface you are on, leave your mark. Hopefully, there's something you can take out of there throughout your weeks. But that is Tuesday Motivation / Positivity, brought to you by the Clashing Conferences Sports Fan Network. Go to clashingconferences.com and see how you can join today. All right. Did Dave Dombrowski do enough to leave his mark on the Phillies at the trade deadline? That remains to be seen. Larissa Reyes, Brooks Raley, Caleb Killian were the big three names that Dombrowski brought in. And look, at Arise, I think brings something that this team desperately needs. And that's somebody who is a contact hitter, somebody who we really haven't seen since Gene Segura. So hopefully at the top of the lineup kind of sets the plate for the big boppers. He is playing second base, which this is the move. So Bryce Harper's going back to right field. He said whatever it takes. He's been bringing his fielding glove. I get that. I think him moving back to right field makes sense. But now you're moving Bohm to first, Stott to third. I don't know. And for a team that's already not the best defensively, I don't know if this makes them better defensively or not. Bryce hasn't played right field in quite a few years, so I just don't know. And the glaring thing is, and I get, we heard everybody talk about it, it's tough to move Trey Turner from shortstop to the outfield midseason. Whether or not they had a conversation about it behind closed doors and they're not telling us, I don't know. I don't know if they're better defensively. I certainly think they're better on offense. But again, defensively, we'll see what happens. Maybe it's something that'll motivate Trey. But I think Arise, hopefully he's hitting leadoff, kind of will set the table for everybody. So I do think they improved offensively. I think Raley he's an old vet, crafty vet, but it has some good numbers this year with the Mets. Hopefully, I think it's an instant upgrade in our bullpen as it stands. Killian's kind of the wild card. I heard a couple people that were Giants fans kind of talk about him, and they're like, it almost reminded me of a slightly better version of Alvarado. So we'll see. I mean, whatever did they try to get a starting pitcher? I don't know. Did they get fooled? And maybe not fooled. Maybe this is the way he's going to be by Andrew Painter's outing on Friday. I don't know. I mean, I don't think it was a horrible trade deadline. I would have liked to have seen more. I think the way the infield is constructed, I mean, and Arise is not necessarily a stud of a second baseman. He's been better this year. So if they can score runs, but I think at the end of the day, and this isn't necessarily a cop-out, but it's the truth with the way this team is, and we've seen it now every single postseason since 22. It all depends on how the big guys hit. If Bryce Harper and Kyle Schwarber and Trey Turner, if they're not hitting, if Alec Bohm and Bryson Stott aren't hitting, doesn't matter who you bring in. So we'll see what happens, but would love to know your thoughts on the Phillies trade deadline. 267-495-8531. That's the Back to the Future voice and text line. And Arise is in town, so he should be playing tonight. So we'll get a look at the new lineup very, very soon, I would say. But a good game yesterday, and they kind of sleptwalked through the first 6 innings. And Aaron Nola was not bad. I know there was a lot of people ripping him for giving up the 3 runs. But look, as a number 4 starter, if you're going to tell me he's going to go 6 innings and give up 3 runs, I will take that every time. The problem was the offense didn't do anything until the Nationals starter, and then the bullpen got a little wild. A couple hits or I think it was 1 hit batter, a couple walks, and then Derek Hill with a grand slam. And then they added 2 more on. But listen, if you tell me Aaron Nola every start the rest of the season is going to give up 3 runs. I don't care how those runs come. I don't care if it's 3 solo shots, 1 3-run homer. It doesn't matter. If he's going to give up 3 runs, I'm going to take that every time. So we'll see how that goes. You got to give him run support, though. At this stage in his career, he is what he is. So you got to score more than, or they were getting shut out before the grand slam by Hill, who also made a great catch. Listen, it's hyperbole, I know, but is it possible that grand slam sort of is the spark or the thing that turned this season back around and got them out of their slump? I mean, it's certainly possible. So we'll see. Also, a good sign yesterday, Tanner Banks was throwing, could be ready to come back as early as September. So that will certainly help bolster the bullpen, especially down the stretch and into the postseason. Jaylen Brown is going to be announced at a press conference on Thursday, and then he will throw out the first pitch at the Phillies game on Thursday night. Mike Gansey threw out the first pitch last night. And look, I was talking with some guys on Twitter yesterday. I'm pumped for the Sixers still, even more so, because one of the things we were talking about is the fact that you're going to have, especially with Joe and LeBron, days where through load management, maybe possible injury, where the lineup is going to look different on certain times. So you're going to have times where Jaylen Brown's going to be, it's going to be him and Maxey trying to win games. And I think they have the flexibility with their lineup, and it comes down. I think everybody talks about, I saw after the LeBron signing, everybody was talking about who has the most pressure. Is it LeBron? Is it Joe? Is it Jaylen Brown? The guy with the most pressure in the Sixers organization right now is Nick Nurse. He needs to show that he has a championship pedigree. He needs to get to the lab, and I think as long as he can figure out rotations and lineups and everything like that, we're going to be okay. We're going to be okay, and I'm pumped. Sign me up. Eagles continue camp. They were inside yesterday. Apparently, Jalen Hurts had a good day. It came on the heels of everybody freaking out yesterday about them struggling slightly. Jalen Hurts didn't throw a touchdown pass in training camp yet. And I never understood it. And look, not ripping the guy, not ripping anybody who does this, but it's training camp. There are days where they're going to work on specific things where maybe he's not going to throw into the end zone. Maybe they're working on something that has nothing to do with trying to score. Maybe it's just they're working on footwork. Maybe they're working. So I don't put a ton of stock into training camp stats. The fact that everybody's freaking out. Yeah, I mean, there's going to be questions. It's a brand new offense. But everything I'm hearing from folks, and just even Sean Mannion's press conference, he's super involved. And there's so many intricacies with this offense that, yeah, it is going to look bad 3 days into camp. So everybody that's freaking out, like, relax. And again, kudos to Elliott for doing his training camp stats and the detail or whatever that he's doing. But who gives a shit what Jalen Hurts' stats are in practice? I'm going to channel my inner AI right now. We're talking about practice. Not the game, but practice. So everybody take a deep breath and relax. Relax. It's going to be okay. It's going to look sloppy. We're not even a week into camp. It should look sloppy. To me, if they're able to master this offense in less than a week, that means one of two things happens. It's not that good, or they're back to the same old stuff that they were doing before, which is why they brought in a new offensive coordinator, because it wasn't working. So everybody just relax. Practice. Not the game. Practice. All right, yesterday's trivia question. Jimmy Rollins has the longest hitting streak in Phillies history, 38 straight games, starting at the last 36 games of the 2005 season and the first 2 games of the 2006 season. Be sure to follow me on social media, all platforms at Philly Jimbo. Subscribe to the YouTube channel, Philly Jimbo as well. One-stop shop, Philly Jimbo. Just go, take 5 minutes, follow me on all the social medias. Like I said, we were having a good, I guess it'd be social media, not social medias. But we were having a good conversation about the Sixers yesterday. Lots of good Phillies chat yesterday as well. So go over, subscribe, follow me on all that, and just continue to spread the word. I always say it, but if you're enjoying this, likely someone in your network will as well. Reppin' Philly ain't a choice. It's a way of life. PhillyGoat.com is your one-stop shop for Philly pride. Use the promo code Jim Montgomery for 10% off. Look fresh, stay Philly, Philly Goat. Go Birds. All right, August 4th. First, we're going to go back to 1947 and do a little boxing. And on this day, down at Municipal Stadium in South Philly, it was Ike Williams versus Bob Montgomery 2. This was a unification bout for the lightweight title. And these guys hated each other. Absolutely hated each other. Montgomery was a Philly native. Williams was from Trenton. And it stemmed from a fight in which Williams beat an older fighter who was a good friend of Bob Montgomery's, thought that he fought dirty and really didn't fight the fight cleanly. So he wanted to avenge him. In the first one, it was a brutal matchup. Montgomery forced the TKO in the 12th round after he knocked Ike Williams out of the ring with a punch. Well, obviously, Ike Williams thought that this was dirty as well, said that Bob Montgomery didn't fight the fight clean. So this set up the unification bout. I guess they tried to avoid each other, but because they were both champions and they were just on a collision course, as things happen like that in wrestling a lot. So Williams-Montgomery 2 at Municipal Stadium took place on this day in 1947. It was Ike Williams beating Bob Montgomery by 6-round TKO. Montgomery would go on to fight a few fights after that before retiring, and then Williams would defend, I believe it was 5 times before losing the title. But a real Philly grudge match on this day in 1947. Ike Williams versus Bob Montgomery at Municipal Stadium. You might know it better as JFK. That took place on this day in 1947. Then we're going to fast forward all the way to 2011. Phillies beat the Giants 3-0. John Mayberry and Hunter Pence provided the run support with homers. Cliff Lee scattered 7 hits, striking out 8 while walking none for his 5th shutout of the year. He would go on to have 6 that season. But Phillies beat the Giants 3-0 on this day in 2011. And that leads us into today's trivia question. Since 1960, who is the Phillies single-season leader in shutouts? Hit me up on the Back to the Future voice and text line 267-495-8531. Any of my social media or the Discord channel. The link is in the description. But since 1960, who is the Phillies single-season leader in shutouts for a season? All right, and then fast forward to 2015. Jimmy Rollins returns to Citizens Bank Park while playing for the Dodgers. I remember this well. It was a very weird sight to see Jimmy Rollins wearing the Dodgers blue. He did go 2 for 4 with a double, did receive a standing ovation before his first at-bat. However, the Phillies would get the last laugh, beating the Dodgers 6-2. Maikel Franco with a grand slam, becoming the first rookie since Ryan Howard in 2005 to hit a grand slam. And then in 2023, mired in a huge season-long slump, really, Trey Turner received a standing ovation from the Phillies fans. Phillies would go on to lose that game to the Royals 7-5. However, Trey went 1 for 4, kicking off a 20-game hit streak where he would hit .425, hit 8 homers and 25 RBI. And who says Philly fans aren't nice? But the infamous, I guess you could call it, Trey Turner standing ovation occurred on this day in 2023. And then tournament update. Our tournament for the greatest Philly high school hoops figure is brought to you by Beach Caddy. BeachCaddy.app. They'll take the stress out of your Jersey Shore vacation if you're in Stone Harbor, Avalon, Sea Isle, Wildwood, or Ocean City. Go to beachcaddy.app, use the promo code Jim Montgomery to take 10% off your move-in, move-out service, as well as your beach cart rental. All right, as of this morning, maybe an hour ago, we got ourselves a matchup. So if you have voted already, go back and vote again. If you need to get your vote in, get your vote in. You have until Thursday. Currently, Wilt Chamberlain is leading Kobe Bryant with 60% of the vote, but there's still another 2 days worth of voting. So get that vote in any way you can. Again, you got old school versus new school, city versus suburbs. Both of them have legitimate claims to the title of the greatest Philly high school hoops figure. So get that vote in. And even if you've already voted, just vote again. But Wilt currently leads with 60% of the vote. So your vote still could sway this one way or the other. On this day in 2023, Trey Turner receives a standing ovation. We'll go on to hitting 20 straight games after that. Jimmy Rollins returns to Citizens Bank Park while playing for the Dodgers on this day in 2015. Cliff Lee with his 5th shutout of the year on this day in 2011. And Ike Williams TKO'd Bob Montgomery on this day at Municipal Stadium to unify the lightweight title and get some revenge on Bob for the brutal beatdown that he gave him a couple years earlier. We'll have more updates on Eagles camp. Obviously, the Phillies game tomorrow. It is tomorrow's What If Wednesday, so stay tuned for that as well. Something tells me it's going to be Phillies related. But this has been This Day in Philly Sports History for August 4th, 2026. My name is Jim Montgomery. Go have yourselves a Tuesday. It's supposed to be beautiful. Remember the pencil's tail. Maybe there's something you can take out of that to help you get through your weeks. And until next time, I'll see you when I see you.